Well, it's the butt crack way too fucking early in the morning. And of course, those who have been harassing me continue to do so, and I continue to speak out. Of course, treated like I'm a bad person for speaking out. I get treated like I'm a monster for speaking out. You know, it's funny. I watched this thing with BLM. They were asking white people to stop destroying property because it was making things worse for BLM, because there's a lot of white people who support BLM. Meanwhile, did they ask the black people who are doing this to stop? Well, no. That's a double standard, ain't it? So I'm about to call the cops and let them know that I'm still being harassed. Of course, the harassment hasn't stopped. So it's not like it started up again and fucking rested up for a bit or anything like that. No, this harassment hasn't stopped since I left Virginia in 2016. Now, I am currently trying to see if I have any thing in here to write down with. I got receipts, but I might need to write quite a bit down. Fuck it. I got a cereal box. This might work. Cereal box. All right. What else do we need to do? Yes. There, no, sugar, glass bottles, plastic bottles. Pen. All right. What else do I need to make this phone call? My phone, which is, I believe, out on my Harley. I was sitting on it watching videos earlier. All right, let's get ready to call 911. Life is grand with your head in the sand unless you're afraid of the dark, and I've got a plan starring Iron Man with me instead of Tony Stark. right. Let's see. Let's see if we can figure out how to run this little phone number here. Does anybody know the number for 911?
What location of your emergency?
I am not sure what the location of my emergency is, but if you tell the police in Dual County that I'm Sean Schwartz and I'm at my horse trailer, they'll know exactly where I am.
Sean Schwartz?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you spell your last name for me, Sean?
I can. SCHWARTZ.
Okay. Do you know kind of what street you're on?
I do. I'm on Thompson Street. However, I would like a state patrol officer to show up because the police in this town have taken part in the harassment, and the guy that I need to turn in has repeatedly threatened my life.
So you want state patrol?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I need to get your address for sure then, okay?
All right.
What's the phone number that you're calling me from?
You guys don't have my phone number? I thought you had caller ID.
I need to ask these questions every time you call.
Ah. All right. Well. Information correct. It is in reference to a Mr. Dalton Crawford. A few years ago, a friend of mine was murdered, and I was falsely accused, and I have been threatened, harassed, and intimidated repeatedly by the Bollinger family, their friends, their extended friends, the media, and the police nationwide.
Okay. And did anything happen just right now for you to call?
Yes, ma'am. Dalton Crawford is getting a hold of me to harass me, and after what the Bollinger family did to me and what the courts in the state of Nebraska and Colorado did to me, you guys really need to do something about it. At this point, I would be happy just to have it actually documented so that I can take it to court.
Okay. And how is he harassing you? Phone call, social media, text?
Well, it's social media. Although it's not just him, it's literally the Bollinger family and hundreds of their extended friends and so on and so forth have taken part in this.
Okay, can you spell that last name for me, please? That Bollinger? Sorry, I'm gonna...
Bollinger.
Okay, and that family's been harassing you too?
They've actually made my life hell for the last 4 years. They made my life hell for an entire year before Natalie was killed. I spent that entire year trying to get help and begging for people to kill me because nobody would help me. They kept on using the term mentally ill to pretend like none of these things happened.
Okay. Okay, I will go ahead and let my deputy know and advise NSP as well, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Have you been asked to self-quarantine or self-isolate by a medical professional at all?
No, ma'am.
And are you experiencing any cold or flu-like symptoms?
No, I do not have any.
You have cold or flu-like symptoms?
Yes, ma'am. That's what long-term physical abuse and PTSD does to the human body. It eventually, over long periods of time, manifests itself into physical illnesses. No,
okay,
I don't.
I will go ahead and let a deputy know and NSP know as well, okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay, yep.
Bye. Well, that'll be active for about 5 minutes. It's got the SOS thing on my phone. What does that mean? It means that I won't be able to make any calls for about 5 minutes because I'm in emergency callback mode for the next 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Now, one thing to point out is that it's fine for these people to threaten my life over and over again when police won't do their fucking jobs. When you make a 911 phone call, they have to make a report. Here in Chapel, Nebraska, they didn't. And in Haxton, Colorado, they didn't. Let's see if they do it this time. Now, as far as the deputies in this town go, yeah, I'm not a real big fan of them. Now, if they send out state patrol, you might get to see William Burr. He's one of the state patrol officers that I'm trying to get in court for his wrongdoing in the cover-up. What cover-up, you might ask? Well, this is a small town. These guys are all friends with each other. These law enforcement officers hide behind the blue line of bullshit to cover up the crimes of each other. I've stood up to bullies my entire life. I've stood up to my own bullies. I've stood up to other people's bullies. I'm not going to stop speaking out. You're going to have to kill me to shut me up. Get that through your head. You will have to kill me to shut me up. Plain and simple. Now, what the Bollingers have been doing, some of their friends harass me and threaten me and then call me a bitch for calling the police. And then some of their friends pretend like they're going to help me. Like they want to do the right thing. And then those people play victim when they get busted playing head games, lying and pulling all sorts of fucking bullshit. But it's fine, isn't it? It's okay to abuse those who are disabled, isn't it? It's okay to abuse the homeless, isn't it? You'll make every excuse why it's okay, won't you? Life is grand, ain't it? before Natalie was killed, I had to go through this same jurisdictional bullshit, this same sexist bullshit, this same mentally ill bullshit. I got a question for you. If a woman is mentally ill, or considered mentally ill, and she is raped by a police officer, or raped by anyone for that matter, is it okay to blow her off because she's mentally ill? Does the label of mentally ill that you use to victimize her and get away with it, does that term make it okay to rape her? Does that term make it okay to look away? Hello?
Hey, Sean, it's Deputy Kramer from County Sheriff's Office.
It's Deputy who?
Kramer,
Kramer? From where?
County Sheriff's.
Ah, are you the new guy?
Yes.
So you moved into Mr. Mahar's old house.
Yes.
I saw you guys moving in.
So, I heard you called dispatch.
Yes, sir, I did.
So, what's going on?
Well, there was a woman named Natalie Bollinger who was killed in 2017 in December after I had spent an entire year being threatened, harassed, intimidated, bullying, and assaulted by their druggy friends. And in December of 2017, she was killed. Now, I had to go through a whole year of abuse to the point where I was begging people to kill me before she was killed. And since she has been killed, I've had to deal with nonstop threats, harassment, and bullying, including by law enforcement in Chapel, Nebraska. Now, there's a guy named Dalton Crawford. He was with Alycia Bollinger when Natalie disappeared, and he was threatening my life back then, along with hundreds of others that the police refused to take a report about or do anything about or investigate. Now, I can't trust the officers in this town because Scott DaCosta is covering up for the crimes of Jared Hahn, Cody Selhorst, and Jordan Anderson. So I need the state patrol to come take a report from me because I can't trust anyone from the Dual County Sheriff's Department. The problem is I've already gone to the state patrol about these issues and nothing has been done. Matter of fact, State Patrolman William Burr has actually taken part in the threats, harassment, intimidation, and cover-up of the wrongdoing by the Dual County Police Department. Now, this is so far taken place from one side of the country to the other. I have done many, many illegal things to try to force the police to do their jobs, to try to force someone to take a look at the evidence, and to this day, no officer has been willing to do so. It is not okay to victimize the disabled, and it is not okay to look away from the crimes being committed against them. It is not okay to use their disabilities as an excuse to harm them, and it is not okay to use their disabilities as an excuse to ignore the harm that is brought to them. This has been going on for 4 years. I have evidence that police officers across the nation have engaged in illegal activities, and I'm tired of having my life threatened. Yes.
Sean, okay, can you please, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. What is the, issue? What is going on right this minute?
What's going on right this minute is that I have people who have repeatedly caused harm to me, including threatening my life and the life of my loved ones, getting a hold of me and harassing me. We should have gotten this taken care of in court.
Has anyone gotten a hold of you and sat there and, threatened you?
Yes, many people have.
Right,
Literally, hundreds of people have taken part in this.
right this minute. Right this minute.
Sir, right this minute, I need somebody to do something about this. It's not just the harassment, it's also the threats, the bullying, and the stalking that I continue to endure. I had not Cody Selhorst, Chris Kurth, who I should have had a protection order against in 2018 when he threatened my life over the situation with Natalie. I should have had a protection order against him then. The cops didn't do their jobs, and he has since done that again. And I have to be afraid to go to the police because I will be victimized by the police for trying to turn these people in. And I say this because that has been my experience for the last 4 years.
Okay, so my question still stands. Has anyone threatened you in the past, hour?
Sir, the fact that he got a hold of me in the last hour is a threat in and of itself.
From who?
His name is Dalton Crawford.
Okay, and how did he get a hold of you?
By way of Facebook Messenger.
Okay, that's social. Okay, Sean, I'm gonna stop you right here. That is social media. It is.
I'm going to stop you right here because it's not just social media. It's not just social media. I have to deal with this in real life.
Sean, I'm gonna need you to calm down.
I'm going to need you to do your fucking job.
Okay, Sean, you have a nice night. All right.
Go suck a dick, you fucking pig.
All right. Have a good night. Bye.
Suck a dick. We'll go right back to 911.
What's the location of your emergency?
That would be Mr. Mahar's house.
Okay, what's the address?
I would have to walk up there. That officer that you just had call me is living in Mr. Mahar's old house. He seems like he's more interested in going to sleep than doing his job.
Okay, my deputy did give you a call.
He did give me a call.
Okay.
I would rather speak with the State Patrol.
Okay, can you hold on just 1 second for me?
I can.
Okay.
I love being put on hold. I need nasty.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, is this still Sean?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I was just finishing up with my deputy and figuring out what exactly to do. I'm going to go ahead and call NFP and pass along the information, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'm not sure how they will handle it, especially at 4 o'clock in the morning.
They'll probably
But
ignore
I
it.
will
They've
pass
been
along the
ignoring it for
information.
4 years.
Okay, I'll pass along the information.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay? Okay.
How are they going to proceed? Well, they're going to use jurisdiction as their excuse. Meanwhile, the jurisdictional excuses that they're going to make, they made excuses in the opposite direction when it came to me. See, all of these things that I'm turning in are things that are illegal if I do them, but not illegal if these people do them. And I can prove that. If the law is different for Dalton Crawford than it is for me, if the law is different for Alycia Bollinger than it is for me, if the law is different for the President of the United States than it is for me, and the laws are different for judges, public pretenders, and cops than it is for me, well, then we have a major issue here. Because we are creating a pool of victims so that people can go pluck them out at will. Oh, rich people ripped me off, but they provided us with millions of people that we're allowed to harm to take out our aggression. That pool of victims is picked out, picked apart, picked on by black people, white people, Native American people. They're picked on by police and the courts and the hospitals. When you're homeless and you go into a hospital, you get treated like a junkie. Plain and simple. You don't even have to do drugs. Kind of like when you're homeless, people want someone to victimize, someone to treat like shit because they had a bad day. They'll come bully you, tell you to go get a job, even if you got a job, even if you are still wearing your fucking work boots and your hard hat. What else can I do? What else can I possibly do, given my abilities and my disabilities and the financial situation that I was forced into by bad cops, bad laws, the Bollinger family and their slander, which I have to this day never been allowed to defend myself against, never been allowed to face my accusers in court. Meanwhile, all the things that the police said were illegal for them to do, they have done for others. And then when I do them, it's wrong for me. It's illegal if I do it. What the fuck? I have to do the job of the police without the police budget. I have to do the job of my public pretenders without their budget. I have to do the job of the State Patrol without their budget. I have to do the job of the FBI without their budget. Meanwhile, who is it that stole my budget? Who is it that took away my disability money and abused me for my disabilities and used my disabilities as an excuse for justifying their illegal and immoral actions? Here it is, almost 5 o'clock in the morning. It's, 4:15. I'm supposed to go try to help a woman out at 8 o'clock. I've gotten no sleep. Meanwhile, all of their suggestions are suggestions that I've tried and been victimized for doing so. They keep making suggestions that I could have been able to do before Natalie was killed. But the police have done so much to hide their crimes. And I'm not allowed to be angry. You expect me to smile and be happy when people punch me in the face. You expect me to smile and be happy when people stalk me. You expect me to smile and be happy when people assault me and threaten my life and threaten the lives of my loved ones. You expect that out of Alycia Bollinger. You expect that out of the family of George Floyd. Jesus, fuck, y'all are out of your goddamn minds. You call me crazy. These officers, the things that I get pissed off at them about are things that they tell me they're not allowed to do, yet officers in this very town have done those things for others. Well, if it's illegal and they did it for others, they broke the law and shouldn't be officers. If it is legal, then they broke the law by lying to me and should no longer be officers. Fuck this goddamn country.